Hello everyone and welcome to another lesson. I'm very happy to have you here with me today. Today I wanted to explain some of the basics, fundamentals of n8n or whatever automation tool that you might use, which is JSON. So JSON is the structure of every automation that you build. And today I'm gonna just explain to you a little bit how we can manipulate JSON and what is the actual structure of it. Now, being a non-coder myself, I was always intimidated by the JSON structure and always got scared from it. But right now, after using automation for quite a while, I got used to how it looks like. And then further on, I started, learning how I can make my own. So let's start by naming the workflow, as I always do. So I'm going to start with a manual because I wanted to test stuff here. And the first thing I want to do is I want to add an edit fields. Now I have a video for edit fields because it's a very important node, one of the most essential nodes that you will use. So I have already a video about that. So what I want to talk about is JSON. So how can we create a JSON and how can we feed a JSON and how can we manipulate JSON files? All right. So to do that, I'm going to open the edit fields node and notice you have here a section for JSON. This is where you can write your own JSON. And if I execute this, I'm going to see here two fields, like my field and my field 2, and both of them have values. And as you can see here, the icon here is different. The first icon here it has a character that signifies that this is a string. Now a string is a text. And here the hash signifies that this is a number. And as you can see here, if I want to delete this and I'm going to write my own JSON, I always start with that special bracket, right? This is how I start a JSON, an opening and an end. Then in between comes a JSON. Now, here we can specify what we want to build. Now, everything that we're going to build here has to have two codes, right? So to start, I can name whatever I want. Like let's start with first underscore name. Right? Now this is the name of the variable or the name of the field that we're going to create. And I put here and then I specify what does it contain. Like imagine I'm putting a bowl and then I'm putting something in it. So the bowl is the first name. What's inside of it is actually the first name. Let's go for Jack, for example. Right? And see, I finished this, and if I execute this, I'm going to have a first name and Jack. Now, it immediately gave us a string, a text, because we put this inside of quotes, right? If I change this, for example, let's make another one. And if you want to make another one, you have to put a comma and then go to the next line and create your next one. So let's say I'm going to make age. And for the age, since it's a number, now I can go ahead and do this, for example, and it will give me the age. But notice that the age here is a string. It's not a number. So I cannot manipulate it as number. For example, I cannot use it for greater than or less than or equal, right? Because it's a number. I need to make it as a number. And to do that, I just need to remove the quotes. And notice when I do that here, now it changes to the hash, which is now a number. So it's treating this as a number. Now, if I want to add another one, I have to only put a comma and go to the next line and add another one, right? Now, what other types? We can create an array, right? An array is like a bag of stuff that you put in. Like, let's say skills, right? So an array, how can we create an array? Now, in order to create an array, it has a specific structure. It needs to start with a bracket. Now here inside of it, I can name, for example, coding, then comma, then another skill, for example, swimming or reading, for example. And then I need to close the bracket. Now, notice that now it's giving me no errors. And if I execute this, notice what we have here. We have this skills, and next to it, there's like this list of item, which is exactly what an array is. It's a list of item. Then inside of it, we have skills coding. And notice that skills has 0, coding has, sorry, skills, the coding has 0 and the reading has 1. Because inside of array, each element of that array has an index. And an index is a way for us to identify where is that and how can we reach it whenever we want. So, for example, if I want to reach the reading one, I can simply just call skills 1 and it will give me the reading. And if I want the coding, I'll have to write skills 0 and it gives me the coding. So it's just an identifier for us to grab what we want, right? So, and arrays are very, very popular and used a lot in automation. So you can add as many as you want. You just put comma and more, comma and more. And you can just, for example, here you can add something other than strings. For example, I want to add 22, right? And if I execute this, notice that skills 2 now has 22, but it's a number, right? So you can add several types of variable inside of an array. And notice here, it gave us number 2. And notice that the array starts with 0, doesn't start with 1. So the first item inside of an array has a 0 index. Okay. Now, what else do we have? We have, of course, we have dates, we have objects, we have, for example, let's go for objects, because an object is a very important one, because this is all an object if you know what I'm saying. Like, let's say, for example, an object is a key value, right? It's a key value relationship, right? For example, we could do, for example, permissions. For example, let's do permissions. All right. So in order to create an object, you need to start with a bracket like this, just the way we started the whole JSON, right? And inside of it, so I always like to close it first and then go back. Inside of it, we can start now giving the values that we want. For example, writing is true. Notice what I put here, right? I made a bool, something called permission, right? And inside of permission, I opened a new object, just like this one. It's an object as well. So I opened a new object. And inside of that object, it needs to have a key value. The key is the first one, and the value is whatever is inside of it. And I'm giving this person a permission for writing. Notice I put true. Now, what does this mean? This is not a string. This is not a number. It's what we call a boolean. So a boolean is a true or false variable. It's like on and off, right? On and off. It could only be true or false. Now, if I execute this, what do we have? Notice what we have here. So we have this cube next to permission, which signifies that this is an object. And inside of it, there's this checkmark thing, which is a boolean, which is a code for a boolean, which is like a symbol for a boolean. And it is now true. Now, I can add more. For example, I can add an array even here. I can add an array. And then I could name it, like, for example, first, second, right? And I close it. And if I run this, we will see that inside of our object here, there's an array. And inside of that array, there's array 0, array 1, and each one has value. And even I can insert another object inside of that object. And I keep nesting and nesting and nesting. And this is exactly what a JSON is, right? We've built this from scratch. And this is the power of JSON. Now, let's say I have now this JSON that's now here, right? We can see it in JSON. We're not afraid of it anymore. We can see it in JSON. If I go into edit fields here and I grab the JSON here and I execute this, notice that we will have a string. Now this is a string. It's no longer a JSON, but it's a string. So I can store this as a text. And notice that it has a certain structure. Now, what if I want to, from this, output the JSON that I had right from the beginning? This one. I don't want it as a text anymore. And to do that, we need to manipulate this, right? We need to manipulate this and make this as, we need to parse this. So I can say parse. Now, as you can see, it's still giving us the text one. And the reason why is because we are specifying here that this is a text. And we shouldn't do that. We should know that a JSON is object-based. So we should just put this object. And if we click again, there you go. We have the same structure. We can click and use any of these again by using Parse JSON. So Parse JSON is very, very strong expression that you could use. You could store whatever JSON that you have inside of a table, and whenever you want to turn it back into a workable schema like here, you only need to parse it. Okay. Now the other way around is if you have a JSON and you want to turn it into a text, and to do that, I'm going to create another edit fields. And what I'm going to do now is I want the JSON here dot toJsonString. So what this does, and if I execute this, so notice that inside of JSON now we have this as a string again. Now, how would this be beneficial? It is very beneficial if, let me go back here and delete all that. And I'm going to capitalize on I'm going to delete the object, and I am going to create another one. For example, writing. All right. So, and I'm going to execute this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to split the skills, the array, execute. So now I have 3 items, right? I have 3 items, and what I want to do is aggregate, and then I'm going to put the skills here, and I'm going to say all data, right? And I'm going to execute. Now we have all data together, right, in one array, right? And the next one, what I'm going to do is, what if I want all of these together? So the way we're going to get anything now is if I click and drag this, it's going to give me only number 0, right? Only number 0. And if I go to line 2 and take this, and it's going to give me the 1, right? But what if I have an array that has 100 items? Or what if I have an array that I don't know how many items it has? I don't know. So I just want all of these listed together. I don't know how many, and I cannot write all of them. In order to do that, we're going to use what I just told you, which is data.toJsonString. And notice that once I do that, it will put everything together in one line, right? This way I have access to whatever things that are happening here. I will have them all in one string of text. And even if I don't know how many these are, it will just give them all in one string of text, no matter how many they are. And then I could feed that into an AI agent, or I can feed that to whatever I want to process next. So toJsonString is a very, very nice way to take your JSON and convert it to a string. And the parse method that we just saw is we take a JSON and parse it into, we take a string and then change it into a JSON structure so that we can manipulate it. All right. I hope that just this little brief introduction about JSON can make you better in your workflow, and you can further enhance how you create your workflows. And I hope that you like this lesson. And if you did, please give it a like, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.